Woo! The world is on fire right now. We are suffering a pandemic of epic proportions. It's all the rage. It's the biggest fad that we've ever seen. Millions of people are doing it. It is called self-quarantine. Self-quarantine, shelter in place. Don't do anything stupid. You're not allowed to do anything non-essential. No dog park, no hair salon, no getting your nails done. Take your kids out of school. Close the gyms and stay indoors. Because we now have a social and moral obligation to stop the spread of a highly infectious and contagious disease known as COVID-19, coronavirus. It's brought Italy to its knees. It's bringing the U.S. to its knees. It's crashing the global economy. It's crashing the national economy. As a personal trainer, I've seen my income slashed by 90%. Millions of people are losing their jobs. Tens of thousands of people are filing for unemployment. What the heck do we do? There's so much wrapped up into this. Hello, my name is David Lee of Strong by Lee, personal trainer and registered dietitian based in White Plains. And for the next few minutes, I want to talk to you, my dear listeners, about how to maintain your physical health routine, maintain your emotional sanity. I know I've spoken about that before in previous podcasts. I'm a big proponent of emotional health during these challenging times. First and foremost, we should understand we're not the only one suffering. You're not the only one suffering. You are, in this case, you are not a special snowflake. This is communal commiseration. Communal commiseration. Can we hashtag that? What is it? Communal commiseration. Com. The same way that Stop the Spread and Flatten the Curve are being hashtagged right now. And I want to talk to you about how we can maintain our fitness. I will say, if you have been training for any period of time, like my clients who've been training for 2, 3, 4 times per day, for months on end, for years, we're going to lose some of the progress that we made. And if you are not on a routine right now, and all of a sudden you want to start a routine in the midst of a global pandemic, I think that's great. You're going to see progress. And that's just generally and basically speaking. The first thing that we want to understand is we are going to suffer together. We're going to suffer together. We're going to survive together, and we're going to get stronger together. That is the first thing. I know a lot of people are scared and anxious. Just the other day, I saw one of my clients walking on the street with a big bag full of alcohol, like the world is about to come to an end, and we need to be drunk we need to be drunk and wasted while we're dying. I mean, I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think a lot of people are on lockdown. This is March 20th, 2020. The state of California has declared a state of emergency and full lockdown, meaning that you are not allowed to go out. You will get in trouble by the law. And New York State has followed suit. As of Sunday, all non-essential services are shut down. Even liquor stores are shut down. People need to be indoors for an indefinite period of time, maybe weeks, months on end, to make sure that this virus doesn't spread. And if you're going to be indoors, what do you do in terms of your health and fitness? Well, the first thing you do is not make your health and fitness worse, because this virus manifests itself as pneumonia. And it depresses your immune system, crushes your immune system. It's a virus. You need antibodies in your body to fight off this virus. And the last thing you want to do is destroy your immune system by acting stupid, not taking care of yourself, eating like crap. This is more of an important time than ever to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. You're locked inside. You're not probably going to be able to get as much sun. And I want to try to extend this to the general fitness population, general public. So when this virus is over and we come out the other side, we can refer to this talk and say, hey, just because we don't have a virus doesn't mean that there aren't any valuable nuggets in this talk. Maintaining that routine involves making sure that we abide by our circadian rhythm. That is really what our routine is built on. The dark light cycle. Our body inside has what's called it's an internal clock. It's called the circadian rhythm, biological rhythm. And that biological rhythm determines hormonal fluctuations throughout the day. It determines blood pressures, sensitivity to light, blood sugar management, alertness, coordination, strength, balance. All those things are determined by our hormones, which are determined by the circadian rhythm. And most importantly, our hormones determine our emotions and our moods. If we're off our rhythm, if we're off our routine, most likely we're going to be more irritable. We're going to be less energized, less motivated, have less willpower. If people are stressed, anxious, and scared of the future, they're going to be more likely to say, screw it! Why do I need to be in a routine? I lost my job. Life kind of sucks right now, and it does suck. I am with you on that one. I have 2 young kids. I have a wife. She still has a job, luckily, but I pretty much don't have a job. And my whole identity was kind of wrapped up into being a personal trainer and registered dietitian, and I don't have that identity anymore. So we can suffer together, but that doesn't mean that we should give up. We haven't failed. We're still alive. We were born into this generation. We have a social moral obligation to not only stop the spread of this virus, but also to take care of ourselves, to show ourselves respect and make the most out of ourselves, and that starts with our health. Boosting our immunity, staying on a routine. So you see how we went from the spiritual, the metaphysical, to the practical? Let's stick with the practical for now. Stay on a routine. Try to keep as much of the routine that you had before this virus now as possible. Meaning, try to go to sleep at a reasonable time as much as you can, as consistently as you can. Try to get 6 to 9 hours of sleep. None of the recommendations are different just because of this virus. The CDC hasn't changed their recommendations at all when it comes to how to maintain your health. Exercise. If you've got time, try to exercise in the morning. When it comes to health and longevity and energy, exercise in the morning is probably better, even if you're not being mentally stressed at work. A lot of my clients, they like to work out in the morning because they want to get it out of the way. They don't want to think about working out after work is done. But for those of us who aren't working out in the morning can be good. And even if you do start working out in the morning can be good anyway. Try to maintain as much of your workout program as possible. Some of my clients, they're going to lose progress. They're going to lose some of the results that they work so hard for. But that's okay, because our goal here is just to maintain so that when we do get back on the grind, we can jump back quickly. Try to preserve as many of the movement patterns that you were doing as possible. If you were doing squats, keep doing squats. Bodyweight squats is okay, even if you were doing barbell back squats with 225 pounds. Push-ups are okay, even though you were doing bench press with 135. If you can do rows with a suspension trainer that you got lodged through the door, you can get on Amazon for $40. That's great too. You may not be able to use the dumbbells, the barbells, and the kettlebells like you were with all the nifty gadgets you had at the gym. Try to do the best you can. Do your core work. Do side planks. Do front planks. Do bird dogs, glute bridges, hollow holds. Do all of those things that your magnificent body can do, because as long as you have a body, you have a gym. Let's be creative. Let's be ingenious. If you have any questions, shoot them over to me. I will be more than happy to write up a simple program for you that you can do throughout the day. Throughout the day, to that point, if you can split up a 1-hour workout that you normally would have done during a session and into 5, 10, 15, 20 minute sessions, I think that will be good. It'll keep your mind engaged, your muscles contracted and activated. I think it'll be good for your metabolism. It'll be good for your emotional health, keep you in a routine, help you with your willpower, make it less likely that you're going to turn to the temptations, the Oreos in your pantry because you got them while you went grocery shopping. Because everyone else was getting the toilet paper and the hand sanitizer, you had to go for the Oreos. I think it'll help with the willpower. Break up your routine. Try to exercise in small bits, small increments as often as you can. I do that anyway. Before the virus, I was doing that in between my sessions, and I felt that it kept my energy levels up. And I think I can attribute my high energy levels to that. And a lot of my clients are like, dude, how do you have the same level of energy at 7 p.m. as you do at 5 a.m.? And I think it's because throughout the day, I'm working out. It helps that I'm on my feet all day, and I'm doing squats with my clients, doing planks, demonstrating. But in essence, I am working out in small increments. Try to work out in small increments and keep that routine. Try to go to sleep around the same time, because that will help you manage your stress. That will help you keep emotional balance, because sleep is absolutely crucial for emotional health. We don't know exactly why. Everyone is a little bit different. I don't know why. Researchers don't know why. There's a wide breadth of time range, 6 to 9 hours. Some people perform well on 6 hours. Some people can't perform well on 9 hours. It all really depends on the person. Try to experiment, but remember, number one, stay on a routine as much as possible. That's going to keep your body in check, in equilibrium. That goes to sleep. That goes to nutrition. Now, that circadian rhythm I was mentioning before, there are a couple of things that have an impact on your circadian rhythm. Sunlight is the most important thing. We're very sensitive creatures. Visual sensitivity. Our eyes are extremely sensitive to the light and the dark, and that usually signifies when we should be awake, when we should be eating, when we should be sleeping. A couple of things can reset that. Sunlight, I just mentioned. If you can get out into the sun for 20 minutes per day, that would be great, because that sunlight will convert through the skin with the kidneys into vitamin D, which is technically a hormone. Vitamin D is implicated in so many different things. If you want a strong immune system, vitamin D is where it's at. Vitamin D is also implicated in anti-inflammation, autoimmune diseases, cancer, disease prevention, all sorts of different things. We want to make sure we're hitting the right amount of vitamin D, and research shows 20 minutes of sunlight on bare skin is the minimum. If you can't get sunlight because you're either stuck indoors under a basement with no windows, or you're being quarantined because of a global virus, try to get some vitamin D supplements, 2,000 to 5,000 international units per day. Now, if you're somebody who suffers from seasonal affective disorders, such as people who have light skin, stuck indoors, especially in the winter months when the nights are long and the days are short and they're not getting enough sunlight, you go to work when it's dark, you come home when it's dark, getting some supplemental vitamin D can be helpful. 2,000 to 5,000 international units per day is a great place to start. Remember, if you have any questions, try to consult your physician to get your blood markers done to see where you are in terms of vitamin D. But normally, 2,000 to 5,000 international units per day. Food is also a very potent circadian rhythm resetter, because when you eat food, your metabolism starts revving up. It has to digest, metabolize, and absorb the food. The digestive system is going. 80% of your immune system is in your digestive system. So it stands to reason. It makes so much sense to eat properly so you can have a strong immune system. And you want a strong immune system to make sure you stave off invaders and viruses like the coronavirus. And even if the coronavirus isn't around, you want to have a strong immune system to fight off allergies, to make sure that you're energized, because a depressed immune system really sucks, man. It places you at risk for so many different things. You feel like crap, and you don't want to feel like crap, right? Do your immune system a favor. Eat well. Try to steer clear of the trifecta. The trifecta being foods that are high in salt, carbohydrates, and fat altogether, because that bypasses the hunger signals. It's going to be more likely to make you overconsume. When you overconsume carbohydrates, it's going to shoot up your blood sugar. Shot up blood sugar will prompt the release of high levels of insulin, and high levels of insulin is not very good because blood sugar is toxic. You want good blood sugar management. Blood sugar management leads to more emotional stability, because when you eat carbohydrates, it's going to mess with the neurotransmitters in your brain, serotonin, dopamine, and all those different things. If you can have good control of your blood sugar by having good sources of carbohydrates, safe starches such as sweet potatoes, oatmeal, legumes, and whole grain stuff, I think your blood sugar will be good. You'll feel better. You'll feel more energized. You'll be more likely to stick to a routine because you'll have better willpower. You won't feel like crap. You see how all of this is a cycle? Try to stay away from foods that are high in fats, carbohydrates, and salt altogether. We're talking about pastries, pastas, pizzas, the known offenders that make you feel lethargic and heavy afterward. Make sure you eat your vegetables. I think it's pretty common knowledge vegetables are pretty good for us. And I say pretty common knowledge, and it's pretty good for us because it's not good for everybody. I know people who can't tolerate the roughage in the vegetables, so they have to cook the vegetables a certain way. They have to eat certain vegetables, otherwise their digestive system will get offended. Make sure you're having high quality protein sources, whether they're vegan or animal proteins, high quality, not processed too much. You don't douse them in oil. Food can be a miraculous cure, an antidote, or it can be the most poisonous toxin in the drug. And if you don't eat properly, you can exacerbate your condition, make you more susceptible to getting ill. And that is not good, especially given our circumstances. So food, water doesn't really do much with the circadian rhythm, but you want to be hydrated, because hydration means that the body doesn't have to work as hard for some of the metabolic process. Your body uses water for everything. You're 70% water. Make sure you're well hydrated. Supports every single organ, all the metabolic process in the body, including the immune system. We covered sleep. We covered food. We covered exercise. We covered the circadian rhythm. And we spoke briefly about what type of mentality we want to approach this whole situation. The most important mentality, I believe, is to make sure we are seeing this as a process. it's another part of the process that is undesirable. People who start a fitness journey, they should have the expectation that a fitness journey is not necessarily fun, it's uncomfortable, but most importantly, it's voluntary. When you want to take care of your health, you're going to subject yourself to certain things that are unpleasant. You have to push your body to a point where it's uncomfortable, because that stress is what's going to allow the body to adapt. From a mental perspective, we want to see this as a stress that's going to allow us to evolve, make us stronger, and adapt. We suffer together, we get stronger together, and we will survive together. We want this community. So if you need any help, reach out to me, reach out to other people. We can do this together, and we can get stronger together. Remember, this is part of the process. We were born into this generation, this time. We have a social moral obligation to take care of ourselves, to take care of other people. We are altruistic beings, but we can also be very violent. Let's practice the gracious, appreciative side of ourselves whenever we can. And I think we'll be much better off for it emotionally and physically. This is David of Strong by Lee. I hope this was helpful. I know I spoke a lot. I know I spoke fast. There were a lot of things to cover here. I'm just rambling on this topic. I hope it was helpful, though. I hope you at least got one little nugget out of this. And if I helped at least one person, I consider my job done for today. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, shoot them over to me at david@strongbylee.com. Message me, call me, 914-281-1139. Even though I'm not taking any more one-on-one in-person appointments, if you need virtual coaching assistance, guidance, and support, I am available. We can talk, have a conversation to see how I can help you at a reduced cost. It's inexpensive because I know that money can be tight for a lot of people. Let me know if there's anything you would like for me to talk about. Please shoot them over to me.